Chinese-style pork and beans. The flavors of Mexican mole and Chinese-style char siu pork, all in one. These were labeled as country ribs in our market, but they're really pork butt. Pork butt, pork belly, whatever you can get. Salt, and like Chinese restaurants use, we're using white pepper. And Ancho chilies, which aren't known for their heat as much as they're known for their richness. But we want it seeded, of course. These are nothing like the American style, but we are using navy beans, which you soaked ahead. You're not even touching a tenth of the flavor of those chilies until you toast them first. Those beans are getting started in fresh water and infused with cinnamon, star anise, clove, and fennel seed. Bay leaf isn't one of the Chinese 5 spices, but we're using it anyway, and garlic and ginger. You can start to really smell them and see it, blistering up. Those are going for a bath with the beans. That pork is getting seared in batches, at the same time being infused with more garlic and ginger flavor. In Chinese cooking, they often parboil the meat first. In this case, the meat's being added to the beans, so we don't care about having a perfectly clean sauce. Like I always say, color is flavor. Before that garlic starts burning, you can pull it along with the meat as you go. Just remember to add more. There's nothing like the smell of garlic and ginger. All that meat is brown. But first thing we gotta do is get rid of that excess grease. And immediately back on the heat and deglaze with Shaoxing cooking wine. Add the meat back. Soy sauce, of course soy sauce. Dark soy sauce for richness and color. Black vinegar is going to give a sourness and tang. Richness from molasses. Ketchup. Cover with hot water so as to keep the cooking going. Now it's starting to look good. Hoisin sauce, because we're adding 5 spice. Oyster sauce. To make this sweet meat, we're adding Chinese rock candy. You could use this, piloncillo, or regular sugar, whatever. We need one more thing, that chili. That's going to add a richness and complexity. That's going to bring this whole thing together. That's like the mole of 5 spice pork. The first step is getting it tender though. And sweet potatoes to enrich in those beans. That pork is 75% cooked. It's not quite tender yet. Lid off the rest of the way to let it thicken and reduce. Those beans are cooked 3/4 of the way too, giving us the opportunity to add the salt. And this dish is Chinese, so we're adding a little MSG. Uncle Roger would be proud. Calorose rice is the rice they use for sushi, which has a lot of starch and benefits from getting washed a couple, 2-3 times. Sweet, sticky, tender, aromatic pork. You know what that would be good with? Beans. Pork and beans. It's like a Mexican grandmother and a Chinese grandmother got together. Bring your water and rice to a boil with some salt. Once it starts boiling, immediately turn it to low. You know why rice cookers work so well? Because they got plastic gaskets and they don't f***ing leak. My pan doesn't either now. Almost perfect, just a little thin. Potato starch, cornstarch, whatever, but we want to thicken that sauce. As it simmers, it's going to thicken up while that rice cooks. 30-minute cook, 10-minute rest. Perfect rice every time. Have you eaten rice today? With Chinese pork and beans. And lots of those beans. Garnish is important. Sesame seed, sesame oil, green onion, and bitter radish.
It's Chinese pork and beans. It's fucking awesome.
That fucking works.
Ooh, that meat's just shredded. Cut it with a spoon.
I call that a natural.
Oh man, with that rich chili flavor in there too. It just bangs together so nicely. Wow.
Just like you went to Chinatown and bought Char Siu pork, mix it with that, but like way fucking better.
It is. It's like char siu ribs, meat, baked beans.